Hello, welcome to my channel, Diane's Sewing Room. So today I've been having a little bit of a sort through and I thought I'd share a little bit of that with you because I found that I have a number of things that I just don't reach for, and some of the things are things that I've had for a number of years. So I'm going to do this gradually. I'm making sure I do want to let these things go before I get rid of them, and also just checking in on what I'm wearing and what I'm using. So I've been making my clothes for a number of years now, and up until a few years ago it was mainly handmade with a few store-bought items. Now these days it tends to be nothing from the shops other than the odd bra, and I have a couple of pair of jeans which are from a charity shop. 2 winter coats. I've got 4 handmade coats and 2 winter coats that I've had a number of years that are store-bought. So mainly I'm completely handmade, but gradually over the years, most of the things that I've sort of got rid of, that have worn out or that I've got fed up with, have been store-bought things, and that has been easier to do, I've found, because when you make your own clothes, I think you have more of an emotional attachment to them. Maybe that's just me. I know somebody was having a sort out on their blog that I read recently, and they seemed quite ruthless, just getting rid of things, and I don't know, I think I've been quite different in that respect. More recently, as I've been sewing for work and so on, and I get to make more things, I am quite happy to pass on when I know that I'm making something in another size and it's going to be for a relative or a friend. Then it's easier to do because I know straight away somebody's getting use out of it. But if it's things I've just made for me, and I don't know if they're just going to be going straight to landfill because nobody will want them at the charity shop, I don't know, it's a strange one. I find it a little bit harder to let go. Let me know in the comments if you're the same with your handmade things. And I'll share a few of them now, and these are the few that I've pulled out. A couple of them just for now. I'll do some more in another video. I've had a number of years now. I'll show you this first one first of all. It has been a well-loved garment. So it's a dress, and it's a red dress, and I do love red. I'm looking at it now, I think, oh, but it has gone a little bit bobbly here, just a little bit. I think that would respond to some defuzzing though. And it's pleated. It comes to the knee. It's in a ponte, and it's a self-drafted dress. So it's quite a good weight, and as you can see, it's a lovely shade of red. Now, this particular dress, it always goes strange when I hold it up this way. Yeah, can you see I'm going really white? This particular dress, I probably made about 15 plus years ago, I think. Now the reason I'm saying 15 plus is because a memory popped up, and it was me and my 2 sons on holiday, and my older son now was about 5, I think, maybe, in this photograph. And I was wearing it then, and I'd already had it some time then. So I have worn it a lot. I'm not just making things and then just getting shut of them on a whim. It's been worn a lot. It's been worn in the summer, sleeveless, like what I'm wearing today. And then it's been worn through the winter when I was working in school. I used to wear it a lot because it was a good dress to layer it with a long sleeve t-shirt underneath and maybe a cardigan over the top and thick tights. And I used to wear it a lot then. So it has had lots and lots of wear. It still looks good, like I said, there's just a little bit of bobbling here and a couple of places on the pleats. I think that's maybe where like a cardi might have rubbed on it or something. I think that would come off with a defuzzer. I'm going to donate that one to the charity shop. Someone may love it. If they don't, I know they get paid to weigh things in, but hopefully somebody will see that and love it. So it's about between an 8 and a 10. It's quite loose fitting. I used to wear it with a belt, and it's quite forgiving because it's a ponte, so it will fit someone else. It didn't only just fit me. It wasn't that figure hugging sort of fitted dress that would only fit a person that is tailored to. So hopefully someone will get wear out of that. I've had many years of wear and love out of it, so I'm ready to let that one go now. So that's the first item. Now the next item has never been worn at all, but I didn't go and buy the fabric. This was one I did for a work project and I got to keep, but I'm just finding it's been in my wardrobe a number of months now. I've never reached for it. The one time I did come to put it on, I was sort of feeling that the colour was maybe a little, I don't know, a little dark on me, and the style didn't entirely suit me. But either way, it's not one that I've ever reached for and worn. In that case, it's just taking up valuable wardrobe space. But it is a beautiful dress. I will show it you now. So I have a top in this. So you may have seen me in the top. I made a Freya top in the fabric that was left. And I have wore that quite a lot. Strangely, because I was saying about the colour. I've wore that top, but I wear it with a big silver necklace over the top. And whether that, I don't know, lifts it, or maybe it's the shape of the neckline that completely changes it. It could be that, because that does make a big difference. So it could just be the shape and style, but this is the dress. So if you've watched my videos before, and I have wore the top to it quite a lot, the top in the same fabric. So it could be the neckline and these sleeves that are just not doing it for me. It's got a zip up the back. Now, this is a good way jersey fabric. It's a nice material. The sleeves do have a nice shape, and I think on the right person, that would look absolutely beautiful. But as I said, I'm finding I'm putting it on, and you know when you wear something and you just don't feel it when you put it on? Well, that's what I felt with that one. So it's just sort of sat in the wardrobe, and I will rummage through and I pass it every time. So that's such a shame. So somebody could be wearing that. And as I said, that one is brand new, made, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, maybe. And it has just sat there. So that's the next one that's moving along. This particular one I have worn, but looking at it now, I'm finding all kinds of faults with it. It's a good few years ago, and I made it from this book, which I've talked about before, which is Basic Black. And I really do like the one in the picture. So it's this one here with the tie front, and it's got this sort of dropped bit here with gathers, and she's got lace on hers as well. And obviously because it's Basic Black, everything in this book's in black, but I did mine in this fabric that I had at the time, which I loved and I still love, but this has been worn a few times, but like looking at it, I'm thinking, oh, there's so many things wrong with it. So I did find when I did wear it on a couple of occasions, you have to wear something under it because it's so sheer. Sleeves are quite a nice shape. They go into a little band here. You've got this tie at the front. I don't know what I was doing on this particular day, but when I did the pleating at the front, I've used a completely different shade of navy, so that stands out a mile. And you've got this tie feature at the front here. And then it sort of gathers around the bottom, but I'm going to start white again. As you can see, it's quite short. So not only do you have to wear something under it, it also feels like it's sort of short on you. And I did say that when I made things out of this book, that the sizing, I do feel you need to make it bigger. So you need to make things a little bit longer, you need to make things a little bit wider than it actually states, because I'm only small, but I was finding that everything was coming up sort of small. This is a loose fitting top, so it was fine across, but I just felt, again, my arms are longer, so that could be me, but I felt the sleeve length, I felt the length in the body, everything was just small on it. But I did like the fabric, but that one, no, that one's going to. But like I say, I found lots of faults with that one. But it has been worn, but it was one of those, whenever I wore it, I was always sort of picking fault with it and feel like it's not quite long enough and the sleeves aren't quite right, things like that. So that's the next one that's going. I may return to this in the future and modify these patterns, but I have that many things that I want to make. It's whether I want to revisit something that I know didn't really work. It's a shame because I do like the styles in the book, but I can recreate them without the patterns, so maybe I'm better off just doing that because I can make my own patterns. So that's the next one. Now I've got 2 more things to go to show you, but I'm just going to mention what I'm wearing today. So what I've actually done here is I've sort of pressed down my collar, and I've done this on a blouse before, just because sometimes, especially when it's warmer, you don't want your collar fastened up here. It can be quite annoying. you might find you're the same. So this you may recognise from a refashion video is the Saraste top from Breaking the Pattern. So I made this a while ago and I did 2 videos on the process. Now I made this much more complicated than it is because I used one of my husband's old shirts to make it. So I didn't have a big run of fabric, and I found in places, because it is, I'll stand, this shape. So it comes out like this, and my husband's shirt was obviously a different shape. I made panels, so I've added pieces all over the place. So we've got a panel here, and in these pieces that should have been one long continuous piece, they are all joined on mine and then folded to actually get it out of an existing garment, because I was showing how you can refashion things that you get from the charity shop, or maybe that you've got from your husband's wardrobe that he doesn't want anymore, or your partner's wardrobe. So, or even the children's, because I've used children's hoodies before and made them into something else when they didn't want them as they got older. So I've used one from their teens. I've used the hood, I've saved the cord, things like that. So this is what I did. I made the Saraste top, but it is in so many pieces, mine. So if you're making it, it is much simpler than that. But you can find that on a video of mine, which I will link in at the end if you want to watch both of them. You just check out the other one as well. So in the book, it's in orange, so you can see. So that's what I'm wearing today, Saraste. And there's also plain variations on that without the ruffle and with sleeves and with vents. There's different ways of making that blouse. So I may make that again because there's So April Blouse this month, isn't there? So I may do that, because the next item I'm getting rid of, I love the colour. I have some fabric in this colour, and I may make an April blouse, because the blouse I'm getting rid of, it's not a blouse, backtrack. The top I'm getting rid of is again in a ponte, and again I'm not reaching for it very much, so I'll show you that one next. So here is the next one. Now it has been worn, but again I made it some years ago, so it's had its use. It's been worn quite a lot. It's sort of a teal aqua coloured ponte and round neck little top with 3/4 sleeves. Now I have got a few things with 3/4 sleeves, but not a lot. And the main reason for that being is I tend to find if you're putting a jacket on, you can't hold it so it stays put, and it's not up here so it doesn't sit properly. So you end up with your sleeve all bunched up either under your sweater or your jacket, and that gets me annoyed. Now they are quite slim fitting sleeves, so it only did it a bit, but it still did it when I used to put it on. So if it's cool enough that you're going to need something like this with sleeves, and you may be wearing a jacket or a cardi when you go out, that is something, just a little niggle of mine, that used to get me annoyed. So that's this one. So it's in a ponte. This one's in reasonably good condition actually. Very, very minor bobbling here, very minor. So somebody may love that one. So that's been passed on as well. And as I said, I love the colour, and it is in a solid, so that is something I'm lacking in my clothes. I tend to go for wild prints all the time, and then when I'm making things for work often I get all these wild prints. So if I get to keep anything, I end up with a mishmash of lots of wild prints, either tops, dresses or skirts, and I'm missing sort of those plain pieces that you need to hold everything together. So I need to make more of those and sort of make a plan really, and I have got some plain fabrics in my donated fabrics that I was given. So I'll have to have a think. I'm going to go through my old bird and some of my patterns and have a think about that. But number one, which I'm now thinking, which came to me while I was doing this video just then, is I may use a fabric I have to make a blouse in that colour of the one that I'm giving away. So that's it so far. Now this next one I am not getting rid of, but while I was sorting through I've just spotted it and thought, why have I not been wearing that more recently? because it's one of those overlooked items. I did briefly think, shall I make it into something else? But no, I like the shape of the dress it's in. And now that the weather has changed, I think I might wear it tomorrow actually. I do love it. So it's this one. So it is one of those patterns that is sort of, it would fit many people of many sizes. I think this was a simple sew one. I'll have to check it out and I'll let you know below which one it was, because I have used it a couple of times and it is so easy, because you can see you've got these grown on sleeves here. You've got ties, and then it's just two pieces like this. But when you wrap the ties around and tie it, so you could either do it, wrap it round and tie it at the back, or wrap it round twice because they are really long, and tie it at the front. Either way, it just looks really nice. And as I said, because of the nature of it, you can see it's wide. It would fit across sizes. But I just love these. I love anything with birds on. I love this sort of black and pale pink. So I've just spotted that and thought, why have I not been wearing that one recently? So I will be wearing that tomorrow, I think. So are you doing the same thing? Are you having a sort through and taking an inventory of what you're wearing, what you've got, what you need, and maybe things that can be passed on? I mean, I did notice a couple of other things in there that can go as well. I mean, I did mention before that I have a couple of store-bought items left, and a couple of those are small cardigans that I don't wear anymore. I did used to wear them when I worked in school, because I used to put them on over dresses, and then they fit under my coat when I was out on duty, and I did used to wear them quite a lot then. I find I don't wear them now, because if it's cold and I need a cardi or a sweater on, I'll put a warm one on. The little ones that I've got, again, are sort of 3/4 or really thin, and they don't really do anything. I don't even know what purpose they serve really, other than covering up my arms. But I have a couple of those left, and I think they will also be going to the charity shop, because they're just sat in my wardrobe and I don't tend to wear them these days. If it's cold and I need a sweater, I'll wear a big one that will actually do the job. So that's something else. So the next thing is things that I've spotted that I may make. So I always like to go through my old Birder magazines and have a little look and see if there's anything that might be a potential wardrobe fuller for the coming season. So let's have a look at those now. So here is what I've picked out for now. Now, there are two options in this particular magazine. So it is Birder 2021, and it's the February issue, so it's this one. If you've had Birder before, you may have this in your collection. So I've chosen, and it's the main feature one, this top here. So it's top 103 on page 27. So it's a basic round neck, and it's got sort of a short sleeve with a pleat detail. Now it does say viscose rayon jersey. Now obviously I'm using what fabric I've got, and I've had this fabric a little while, but it is not that. Now it has got a little bit of stretch to it, but only a small amount, so I'm wondering if it will work. I may have to cut it out a little bigger if I'm going to make that one. So there's that one there, and I also noticed another one which is also similar in style. I've made a dress out of this magazine as well, and it's beautiful, so I'll maybe show you that one next time. I'll get that out. So again, it's very similar, and this one is 104, so it's probably pretty much the same pattern pieces. And again, it's got that sleeves detail, but that one sort of comes a bit further down. I think that one may come down a little bit too far for me, I think, and give me that same issue that I was talking about before, if I'm wanting to put like a denim jacket on over the top or something, and then my sleeves are bunching up. They do look quite full, those ones, so that one might be too much. in terms of sleeve for a t-shirt. So I think I'll go with 103, and the fabric I was thinking of for that is this one. So it's got this nice peachy effect with the little holes in. I think I've showed that before. It's one I haven't worked on yet because I was trying to make my mind up what to use it for. And this was one that I bought a little while ago because I spotted it and thought I'm going to get that before it runs out. So I may have a go at that one. I'll have another look through see if anything else catches my eye, but as I said, I want some plain tops to go with a lot of my print things. So it would be nice to do some solids. So I think that might be a nice option. Well, that's all from me for today. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think. Are you having a sort out? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe if this is your kind of thing, and I'll be back soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.